You hit go live and it's counting?
Well, it already counted.
Okay, so
go live and it's live.
Hold on. Just stay there a sec. I got to look and see which way to move the camera. Can you see it? See, this is you right here.
Do you want to get the computer in too?
No. Yeah, the computer should be in. That's can't do that. Just half of him.
Well, the ring light is in the way.
All right, I gotta check.
Then move it over there. Just drop it down and move it over there and see if you can get us in it. You could drop it on the floor, but that might be too close. Can you get me, you, and that?
Yes. All right. But you're not gonna be able to see that, right?
What?
That's the exposure is too bright.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Now let me just see. I'm gonna look on.
Yeah, I was like, you need to take a beat over.
No.
And move this bottle. This is gonna be in front of my face.
Hold on. I'm gonna look. Come sit real quick. I'll look at it and we'll adjust.
Are we drinking these?
No, but they're our sponsor.
Oh.
Okay, so that's in. So what we can do is move them. Let's see. Christmas tree over. Just scoot in. I'll move this one down. And get this out of the way. Let's see. Does that work? Once I pull that out of the way?
I think so.
I don't want that to. How's that? Let's see. Look. Lean toward. All right. So I pick up just. All right. You can come. If you could slide, I'll help you slide. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, that works. Look at, we're all in there. Welcome everybody on YouTube. Welcome to our Wild Turkey Day podcast. There everybody is. We got some people watching. So look at, I got my little monitor for monitoring YouTube. And then, Drew, there you go. See, we got head out, but I wanted to join in quick to wish you all a happy. Thanks. Cheers, Jeff, Nash, and everyone out there. Yeah, Drew just wished us happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Now this one should get out of we should put this more in the middle, right?
Sure.
All right, now let me see. On Facebook, I can do this. No, this is in front of me. So we'll just do, let's see. Let's do, this is the one we're doing. It's hard to get Nash in. Are you there, Nash?
I'm here.
Okay, good. So I gotta get the podcast going. I'm
gonna drop frying a turkey today.
What? Yeah, live on our podcast.
Okay.
He's deep frying the turkey. So Nash, talk.
Hey, everybody, hey.
So you got to put those on. So put this one here. No. Put these two here and here and that there.
On my back deck, where I am deep frying turkeys for a couple of family get-togethers today. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of unusual for me. So I brought everything out and set it up out here, where I am with quite the assortment of wild turkey. So.
Yeah.
I hope everybody else is having a great Thanksgiving morning and going to spend it with family and friends and enjoy a lot of food and some good spirits. And we are just about ready to
rock and roll.
Do our rock and roll on our annual Wild Turkey Thanksgiving Day podcast.
Yeah, I hope you're all, it's what would you say? Oh, I just blew this. Okay, let's go. All right. So looks like a gorgeous day down in South Carolina. That's what John's saying.
It sure is. Yeah, it was actually supposed to be raining here all day today, but the rain started probably about 2:00 last night and actually moved through and was done probably about 7:00 this morning.
That's wonderful that you got a sunny day. We're gonna get we've
God,
got
this is
misting
beautiful.
rain
Yeah, it's
all
rainy
day,
here.
but still,
And it's drenching the Macy Days parade. They're
Yeah.
soaked.
Roxy.
Yeah, it's raining on a lot of people's parades today, and and I'm mostly that's kind of going out to some of the football fans out there that I'm having a little bit of fun with. That their bands are actually playing in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. So I've been joking with them, telling them that they're going to lose this weekend because it's already raining on their parade.
All right. For all of the people out in YouTube land and Facebook, I just want to run through our sponsorship. Make sure if you're out there looking for a good bourbon, Rosewood Bourbons and Ryes, Jason Giles down in Houston, Texas, is taking bourbon and rye from Indiana and Kentucky, and he's driving it down in semis 900 miles down to Kentucky and letting it age, not to Kentucky, but to Texas, and letting it age there for one season. It does some really spectacular things to the whiskey. So if you get a chance to pick up Rosewood Bourbon or rye, do it, and check out Bourbon Outfitters when it's in stock. You need to pick one up, and then also Whiskey Thief Distilling. Yes.
I hate to break in right quick, but it's time. My oil is at the right temperature, so I got to drop this turkey down in the fryer. So keep going there,
All right. Well, Super Nash fries live on. He's deep frying a turkey live here. This turkey day. He does this every year. We've had pictures and everything, but I think this is the first time he's dropped the turkey into the oil before. So while he's deep frying those turkeys, I'll keep going with Whiskey Thief Distilling Company, and then he can go over kind of what he actually does, how much time, how he seasons his turkey and everything. But Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfort, Kentucky, and then their now Nulu tasting room. It's a barrel pick every day, all day, 7 days a week. Check them out. It's just their staff is amazing. You can thief right from the barrel and pick a barrel that you like, and then grab a bottle and fill your own bottle. An amazing experience. Whiskey Thief Distilling Company, and then also our other sponsor, the Spirit of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana. Everybody knows, if you listen to the show, you can contact me for our barrel picks. We have some spectacular one. Alan Bishop was the master distiller. He has moved on to Old Homestead, but his bourbons and whiskeys keep going there at the Spirit of French Lick. And then also Alan Bishop, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, his Spirit podcast, where he finds out about the occult and the afterlife and the spirits, and then also combines it with the spirits industry. A unique podcast. And the last is his One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute. If you have questions about home distilling and any part of the process, he will answer it. It's his YouTube channel, and it's spectacular. All right, so what you doing there, Nash? You got him in?
Turkey is dropped.
So when you're doing two today, right?
Sir.
And you use propane to heat that oil up, right?
And good thing you said that, because I needed to check my time here.
Okay.
So actually drop this one. It looks like about 10:36.
All right. So what I'm going to do is get the actual podcast while you adjust things, and then we'll get this going, and you can talk about it on all the formats. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Here we go. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. You'll hear some other sounds upstairs. We're not 8:30. We're 10:30 in the morning. All right. Here we go.
You know. Ready?
I'm ready. Are you?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What did we use as your nickname?
Gin.
Gin?
Yeah, you
Okay.
wanted it to be the kid. I think we played around with Candyman. We saved those for the cock block.
Woo! All right, we're back with another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We got Super Nash here in South Carolina. This is our annual morning Thanksgiving Turkey Day podcast, and he is deep frying 2 turkeys right on his back deck, and he's sitting there. He's got his whole thing. He's got his computer out there. He's got everything. He just went, and the weather broke for this to happen. Welcome, Super Nash.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to y'all, Tiny and Seth.
Yeah. We go with. We were just talking about his nickname when we were doing this, and Seth. I think this is 4th or 5th podcast.
Yes.
We came up with gin because he's a gin lover. But we were like more referring to the Genie, the Genie gin kind of guy.
Genie gin, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So
I grant your wishes.
So well, today
there's always a catch.
I mean, the last time you were on, you didn't have children.
Yeah. The last time I was on, I was having a stomach issue, and you made me drink like a full glass, and I just felt awful afterwards. It was terrible.
No, you felt better.
Oh yeah, better. Sorry, I confused that.
Anyways.
Today I'm sort of wearing 2 nicknames. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm actually Super Nash and Sir Friar Martin.
Sir Friar Martin. You are definitely a religious.
My wife gave this to me about 10 years ago because I've been deep frying turkeys probably 30 years now.
Wow.
And have perfected a recipe that, people just rave over it and actually try to pay me to do turkeys around the holidays. It just gets overwhelming because they like them so much. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Got our first recipe for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys cookbook.
Yeah, there you go. Sir Friar Martin's deep fried turkey day turkey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. Then we can get into like some of Tiny's ribs. I see those coming off all the time, but I've yet to be able to taste
bourbon balls.
Well, maybe I haven't smoked any meat like lately, so maybe that Thursday when you come up after whatever, we'll throw something on the smoker that day. I mean, that Thursday we're going to do the Bookers. We're going to do that Bookers blind. I'm going to have you, and we'll do that Thursday so we could pull off a ton of different podcasts. But
I'm going to be going in it back and forth because I got to keep a check on this oil and make sure I keep this temperature right.
Okay, www.Scotchy Bourbon Boys for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We got Glen Cairns t-shirts and bourbon balls are coming next week. We should be making our first of a couple batches for the holiday. Those pecans have been in for more than 10 months. So it's going to be fantastic bourbon balls. Then also remember Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. And then also the major podcast formats, mainly Spotify, Apple, and iHeart. But any podcast format you listen, any place on social media you see us or whatever, make sure you like, listen, subscribe, and leave good feedback. So today's podcast, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I love to do this podcast. This is, we get this in before the football game starts. There's 3 football games. It used to be 2. Now we got 3, and the Packers are playing tonight with Miami. I got high hopes for that. That should be pretty fun. But I think since we started doing this, Super Nash, I don't know how much bourbon was a part of your Thanksgiving before, but Wild Turkey, since I've been doing this, has become a big part of my Thanksgiving. I like it. I love to sip on it. And last year, after Thanksgiving, after Christmas, when we went down, Greg Schneider, he set us up. If you remember, he was able to set us up. We should actually send him you should send him a direct invoice on your sharing. Share to the message and send it to Greg. But he set us up with Jim. He basically texted Jimmy Russell and said we were going to be coming down about 2 weeks before. And Jimmy Russell is the last of Seth. He's the last of the master distillers that now he just celebrated this bottle here that you're going to taste today is the 70th anniversary of him working at Wild Turkey.
Wow.
So, we're talking about he's a treasure. He's still here with us, but you can only live for so long. Mm-hmm. So I've met him once in 2019, but not realizing really who he was.
So did he start working at the factory when he was 10 or?
Like 22?
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
It's like he's in his 90s. And, but he realistically, Jimmy, he was with Booker and Elmer T. Lee, the people who brought back bourbon that after it had died in the 70s, and they went through the bourbon rut. And he basically is still here. Now, Booker's son, Fred, who we know personally, Fred and Sandy know, and Fred just released his Booker's, which was dedicated to Jimmy. It's called Jimmy's Batch. And Jimmy works for Campari and Wild Turkey, and Booker's is Suntory, 2 different companies, but Suntory did a tribute to Jimmy because Jimmy was like Fred's second dad. So the industry is so intertwined. Yeah. But last year, me and Super Nash, after our Christmas party, we drove down to Kentucky, and I had told Greg Schneider, the head of the cock flock.
Yeah.
Anyways, I told Greg about it, and he texted Jimmy, right, Nash, and then what happened was I told him we'd be there about noon on Sunday. So we got there between noon and 1. So we got there at 12:30, and we had been at Whiskey Thief, our sponsors, and we got there at 12:30, and he never heard back from Jimmy on the text. I didn't expect Jimmy to be there, but as we walked in, there he was. So he basically talked to us, told us stories, gave me crap because I was wearing a Whiskey Thief shirt. I did buy my Wild Turkey shirt that I'm wearing today, but this decanter right here, and he was there with Jaretta, his wife. So it's signed by Jimmy and Jaretta. Now you've got your decanter too, right? Super Nash, did he sign that also?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jimmy and Jaretta signed that. Now that back there's a bottle of Rare Breed that he signed too for me, because Rare Breed was the barrel strength bourbon that I was always
my Rare Breed is
but my Rare Breed and Booker's, both Nash, those are the two bourbons that got me into bourbon, really. I loved them so much.
It's been a staple of my family tradition for probably 35 years. Yeah, and Thanksgiving was it's always been my heart holiday because it was a tradition between me and my brother.
Well,
the one that's passed, and so
yeah, you
that's why
talk
Wild
about
Turkey is so special to me, and that's that's why it's so meaningful to me, and it's just a special day for me because I always like to have a taste of this Kentucky wild turkey Kentucky spirit, always in his honor, in which I will do that here in just a little while.
Yes, yes. For me, Wild Turkey 101, I didn't realize it in my life, but when I turned 18, I was a freshman in college, and there was a place called the Library across the street. It's where all the college professors went to drink. And on my 18th birthday, I was there, and all my friends started buying me shots of bourbon, and it was Wild Turkey 101. And after I believe 11 of them, I went back home. I went back to my dorm room, grabbed the garbage can,
Yeah.
sat in my bed, and basically extracted probably 10 3/4 of them. I hadn't eaten either, so it was just pure. My roommate asked me if I was okay, but I'm like, I was expecting it. I mean, when I was doing it, I knew that I was not going to be. So it was probably a good thing because the next day I felt all right because most of it came back up. But at the same time, Wild Turkey has always been like my pathway to becoming a man. I mean, when you become 18 and you can drink legally, that was what I did. And little did I know I would end up at this place, where we're having Wild Turkey and we're meeting Jimmy, Russell and Eddie and Bruce and all the good stuff they do. Russell's 13, Russell's 15, the Kentucky Spirit. I mean, King of, now they don't do King of Kentucky, do they? I think that's something different.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's kind of a cool thing. Your Wild Turkey goes so well with Thanksgiving. I mean, it's just part of it.
It's a turkey.
And I think Greg's probably working for Wild Turkey and during the Russells era. Also, Greg Schneider probably when he goes turkey hunting does
Lost
drink.
your volume somehow.
You can't hear me? Hello?
Tiny, your volume. I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. I hear Seth,
But me, you can't hear.
there you go. You're back.
Okay.
Yeah, you just totally went silent.
Okay.
But now you're back.
Okay. Good.
Wild Turkey 101. It's funny you should mention it, but that's what the first time my brother came over with it on Thanksgiving. We had been arguing. Like the week before. Well, he brought it upon himself. He come over on Thanksgiving Day, and he brought a bottle of Wild Turkey 101, and he's like, we're going to settle this right here and now. And he cracked the top of that 101, and, ever since then, it was our tradition. It was so cool to have a simple 101, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you've become part of my tradition on this because you honor him with the pour that you guys, and it's a hard day for you. I know it's a happy, thankful day, but it's also a hard day. And
it gets better, especially when with you being my brother too. I mean, I'm able to celebrate it with you, and like I say, it gets better and better every year. And I'm sure, like I say, that's the way he wanted it, and so it's great. And so, cheers to my brother, and cheers to you, my brother.
Okay, so what we got to do is I opened this earlier. I haven't tasted it, but this Wild Turkey, this is Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary blend. All I can hear, it's $50. And real quick, I got to share screen, so I'm going to quick share the screen, and then we'll pour this up. But let's see, where did it go?
Right there.
Is that it?
Yep.
Are we sure?
I mean, that says 70th anniversary.
Okay, I can't read stuff.
I know.
All right, so on the share screen, its mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. It's an 8-year-old. It's 101 proof like 101, and it's $50. So this is a very affordable bourbon. And you know, it's like everybody who's tasting this right now, and I would stop share screen. Everybody who's tasting this, I've heard nothing but good stuff. People that put it against regular 101, it's not even comparable. Some people are like just Drew from Bourbon and Banter. He was like, you share it with everybody, but Wild Turkey people are going to love it. So this one at a 101, I mean, I think this honors Jimmy Russell in the fact that we know that Greg and Jimmy and Booker and Elmer, when they were putting out those barrel strengths, they always they wanted you to proof them down for yourself, right? And now this one, you know, is a 101, and they always felt that Wild Turkey was Jimmy felt Wild Turkey at 101 is where its sweet spot was. So it's really kind of cool. So here we go. I'm going to pour this and share this with my son this morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
You're doing that. I just want to give a quick shout out to my little brother Marshall. Nash he's watching. So cheers to you, little brother. Cheers
to Marshall. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And you know, I could say this is fun sharing this. This is the first, what would you say, like your podcasts now that you've been a dad?
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you. You're, you know,
little single batches here.
Yeah. Kane's single batch Mueller. Yeah. I can't wait till he turns 21 or 18, whatever.
Yeah, hopefully 18. I'm lobbying for that.
That we get to share something. You know, Avery's gonna be 10, which is crazy.
8 more years.
Yeah. So that smells really caramely.
I'm a little stuffy today, so nice.
Cheers.
All my nostril
cheers,
hairs
Nash.
Off, so
cheers.
Cheers. And I went ahead and poured, since this is a good celebration, I went ahead and poured some Wild Turkey single barrel Kentucky Spirit. And I'm going to go ahead and give a good cheers to my brother in heaven.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The legs on this look at the legs right there.
I see.
I mean, it goes from top to bottom, Nash. Like, wow.
You said the proof on that was?
101.
Very smooth.
101. Yeah. And that's what this is, 101.
So go over real quick. You know, while you're all watching the Thanksgiving Day parade, and everybody's getting, you know, they're all getting, what would you say, wet and rained on. Oh, let's see. Do we got anybody on here?
Oh my God. This is so caramelly.
Oh, we got a decent amount of people this morning watching. Yeah, this one, what do you think, Seth, as far as a bourbon goes for you?
It's pretty good. Very smooth, which I enjoy in the bourbons. I don't like when it burns going down.
Well, I will tell you that the new word to sound really good when you're talking about bourbon, easy. It's real easy.
Yeah, it's easy
at
to
101.
Drink. That's yeah,
because when people say smooth, that there's a connotation to that. So, but if you say easy, that means you've had some bourbon and you kind of know what you're trying to say.
See, I haven't had much more bourbon though, so it's pretty smooth.
This bottle right here, I just noticed.
Yes,
but it's a single barrel that was picked by the master distiller in winter of 2020.
So that would have been Eddie.
Yep.
Nice.
That's right.
So go over the brands. I mean, real quick, Super Nash. I mean, the Wild Turkey has a lot of brands. People just don't, you know, it's got some nice. I enjoy it.
They have, like over here, I've got several different brands of Russell's Reserve. They have like the Russell's Reserve 10 year. Then you have your private single barrels. They have Russell's Reserve 13 year. Russell's Reserve single recount now is like their latest addition to the family. You have your regular Wild Turkey 101. Then you have these special editions. This just happens to be one. This is Wild Turkey 1, which is finished in toasted oak finish.
We both got that.
Yep. Then you have Wild Turkey rare breed barrel proof.
One of my favorites.
Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit,
which is their single barrel program.
Then you got Wild Turkey Rye. You got Rare Breed Rye. Is there any more? I know there's several different editions of like these special editions. This is the only one that I have.
Well, I will say that out of all the flavored whiskey, Wild Turkey Honey, that brand is probably the most popular. I mean, Jim Beam has a lot of different ones, but when you Wild Turkey with the honey, they did a pretty good job with that.
I have to agree.
So there you go. I'm what are you thinking now?
I like it. I mean, again, it's going good. I'm getting a little taste of caramel for sure in there.
Well, and now Super Nash is going back, checking those turkeys. They're deep frying right here live on Facebook and YouTube. Y'all can see that. And then I could smell it. Can you smell them?
As I said, I'm a little stuffy today.
No, but the reason why I could smell them is because what's going on upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
We had smell-o-vision. You guys would just be mouth watering at the mouth right
hey,
now.
I could smell the turkey cooking upstairs. And I also got that Larceny, the Larceny bourbon spiced toddy candle going here. And that one, that thing produces some. You started down here, and it just makes the whole house upstairs too smell really well. Anyways, so Thanksgiving has always been about family, friends, and getting together. And this podcast now on Thanksgiving, wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be a tradition. It doesn't, we do it early morning. I'm enjoying this. We're gonna feel kind of decent when we go upstairs. We'll have a little bit of and then I'll just think about now what I'm gonna basically bring up a Russell's for you, Seth, and Russell's Reserve barrel pick, and we'll make some nice cocktails today off of that because I really think the Russell's Reserve in a cocktail, whether it be old fashions or holds up really well. We got eggnog.
I got my eggnog.
Yeah,
too,
your almond eggnog, and we might. No,
I made a real one
with no eggs.
With no eggs.
Yeah,
real milk.
Well, there you go. So what I'll.
Would you like to for me to give my recipe out on how I do these turkeys that is so mouth-watering delicious?
Yeah, go ahead. We got a couple more minutes.
All right, I'm gonna give it to everybody live here. First time I'm ever giving it out live on a podcast.
Breaking news.
My turkeys is I came up probably about 25 years ago when they came up with those injectors, and you see this bottle of Creole butter. Well, I tried that the first time and I was like, well, this really isn't that good. And I always knew that my mom, when she baked the turkey, she always took one little 12-ounce can of Budweiser beer and she poured that in the bottom of the pan to keep it moist and all that, and soaked it in it. Well, I come up with it. What I take is a 12-ounce or a 16-ounce Budweiser beer, and I take one box of the chicken stock, and then I take 2 sticks of salted butter. I melt that, mix it all together. Then I take a big teaspoon of garlic, big teaspoon of onion powder, big teaspoon of black pepper, and a big teaspoon of Lowry seasoned salt.
Ooh.
I warm that mixture just slightly warm to get the butter melted, but you don't want it real hot, just to keep the butter melted. Mix it up real good, and then I inject the turkey, and then put it into a cooler, and I actually put it into a great big huge bag, and then I pour like 2 more Budweiser beers over the top of that and seal that bag, and then put it in the cooler, and I put ice around that bag because you don't want the ice water,
mixing with the brine
down and soaking into your turkey.
Yeah,
and taken away from your marinade.
When everyone knows.
I'll marinate that overnight.
Yeah,
Sometimes
water
up to
and
about
oil
24
mix well.
hours before I drop, and then right before I drop it into the hot oil, I'll sprinkle black pepper and a little bit of Lowry seasoned salt, not too much because you don't want it too salty, and drop it into the hot oil. And I usually go 3.5 to 4 minutes per pound, and I keep my oil, try to keep it between 300 and 325 the whole time I'm cooking it. And you can't go wrong. It comes out nice and crispy, but the inside, it's so juicy, like you would not believe.
So those bags, those big bags, I'm just going to help. They're actually called brining bags. And what you make is like a brine on steroids. That would be a brine on steroids. And those bags, I got to do that. I got to do that. And you're right with the ice. What really sucks is that in the bag, but then that cooler weighs a lot more when you're trying to get the turkey to the sink. So you can take it out of the bag, right? After the ice melts. Yeah, I was outside dumping all that water in the garden.
Good for the plants.
Marshall just sent me a message, and he's watching it, and we got an older cousin of ours, and he's in the hospital, and he's up there at the hospital now, and he's battling cancer real bad, and he's got his phone over there near him, and I just want to give him a shout out to my cousin Robert Nash.
Drink up, did you?
And
I'm
just
done.
want to say that our prayers are
Careful.
with you, cousin, and
There's a little tiny bottle.
and we wish that
Well,
you get better and everything would go well. And I really thank my little brother, and his favorite pour is chicken cock whiskey.
Well, let's do a toast.
Yeah, as Tiny was showing right there. And give me just a minute, and I'm gonna run get me a bottle of chicken cock whiskey, and I'll be right back while Tiny fills it in.
Yep.
So Marshall, you keep that phone right near Robert, and Robert will be right back.
Yeah, Robert, we've got here a small batch chicken cock, one of 3 barrels. It's 100 proof, and we will, for Robert, you just keep fighting. We support you. Thank you for doing this, Marshall. This is what Thanksgiving's about. This small batch is one of my favorite. This is whiskey made by
a chicken?
No, this is the whiskey distilled by straight up. It's by Greg Schneider, and this small batch is spectacular. Greg's such a good friend of the podcast that anytime someone wants to do a cheers. Now, I will tell you, Robert, on Tuesday night, we're having Greg Schneider on the podcast at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we will be reviewing the Mizunara right up. I don't know if anybody can see it. Yep, it's right on top over here, right up here. You can see the tin up there. It's right over there. The Mizunara finished bourbon, and the 4th edition of the tin series, and we will be reviewing that at 8:30 on Tuesday night. So if chicken cock is your jam, yeah, Super Nash went out and got his small batch too.
Yep, Robert, chicken cock whiskey, and cheers to you, brother. We love you, man.
Cheers. Happy
Cheers.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Cheers to you, Robert.
It's very different.
Get better, brother.
A little sweeter, right?
A little sweeter. I don't know how to explain it, why it feels colder. I know we're in a basement. It's like it's just cold down here, I guess. But
this whiskey's been down there too.
I know it feels like a little bit more refreshing.
Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, they're both the same proofs, but now you're talking about it doesn't drink as hot.
It doesn't, yeah.
Yeah,
it definitely doesn't. The mouthfeel, the body is not
So we're drinking
as coating.
Yeah,
not as buttery.
Roxy says, "Happy Thanksgiving, everybody." I'm glad, Robert. It's like, just hang in there, work. We're there for you. We'll say a prayer for you. It's not easy going through what you go through.
Am I allowed to curse on this podcast?
What?
Am I allowed to curse on this podcast?
Not the F word.
Oh, not the F word. Well, that's what they say. They say F cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, the F word gets you in YouTube jail for 3 to 4 more podcasts where they don't share it. And then you got to get through that.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah. It's a morning podcast, so I wasn't expecting too many people on YouTube. But, we get our normal.
Well, we need a parade float next, really.
On
a Macy's Day.
Jamie's on. He says, cheers, Super Nash, and overall.
Is there a bourbon float?
What?
Is there a bourbon float on the
No,
Macy's
there's
Day?
not. There's 36, and they got to be characters, and there's never been a bourbon.
What do you mean they got to be characters? We have one right here.
I suppose
we have the wild turkey.
That would be interesting if Wild Turkey got in there.
All the kids watching, they're watching the dance things, and now welcome, Wild Turkey Bourbon. I
mean, so gin.
So gin, yeah.
What growing up, in my, our family, what do you remember? Are there any Thanksgivings that you remember?
Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to talk to any of them on this podcast. I remember a lot of Thanksgivings.
No, but you remember
that time we went home early from Thanksgiving. There was that Thanksgiving ruined. There was that. But luckily they let me drink at 14, so.
I mean, most of your Thanksgivings were here.
I mean, all but 2.
I mean, there was a Thanksgiving that we went to the country club. Do you remember that?
No.
It had to be about 7 or 8.
I don't remember a country club Thanksgiving, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't think of it as Thanksgiving.
I mean, the reason why most Thanksgivings would have been here in Ohio.
I remember that one Thanksgiving we went to Brian and Margaret's.
Yes.
That one that was fun.
And we stayed in Ohio, and we were invited to Brian and Margaret's. And then one time we went to a Thanksgiving at the country club. Mom, I remember we took pictures and everything, and it was a nice Thanksgiving dinner. But most of the Thanksgivings were always here because, one, traveling to Wisconsin on this time of the year, this week.
Trust me, I drove from Michigan. Yeah.
It's a hit or miss. Now you hit.
Well, I hit. It's hard to miss at midnight. There's not usually much traffic.
Well, but missing is you got a snowstorm dumping 2 feet, so we're having it seems like as these last 20 years have gone by that we're here in Ohio, that the temperature there hasn't been a lot of snowy Thanksgivings,
Well, it's snowing up at where I live right now.
The first Thanksgiving that we had here, Nani Boo Boo and Umpa came up and spent it with us, and you were 5 at the time, and Umpa, your Umpa raked the leaves off the tree, and you were jumping. I remember you were jumping in the leaves, and it was a beautiful 60-degree day. So that's some Thanksgiving. You got Super Nash here.
Beautiful day. Look at the wind blowing.
What's the temperature there? 70?
Probably about 68. Yeah,
68.
Right there, close to it.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Looks like a beautiful day there.
Well, you need some good weather because I think so far this year, South Carolina has gotten hit way harder than Ohio. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't believe how things have been down here. And did y'all get a little bit of snow last week?
Last week we got probably the equal of on the
a flurry.
Yeah, but it never ever got on the
the
grass, but it melted on the street.
Yeah, same in northern Michigan.
They didn't even have to do anything, kind of thing. It was, I believe we left to go to Lambeau on Saturday, so I think it was Thursday night, which would be Friday morning, is when it was just Thursday and Thursday night. It was just kind of flurrying all day. but you know, it didn't have any. It was just too close to. I think it was like 34 degrees during the day, and it was snowing, and then it was, you know, at night it dropped to 32, and really when you woke up in the morning there was some stuff on the grass in the deck, but there wasn't anything on the drive.
Just saw on the news yesterday morning they were talking about South Carolina. It's been like 1,039 days since we've had snow.
Okay.
In South Carolina.
That's almost the same amount of time since the last time I saw Xavier.
What?
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Weird thing to bring up in the middle.
Well, he said 1,000 and some days, and I'm just
Are
like,
you counting?
I do.
Yeah, he's got
it down to the day.
I wonder what all these little scratches on the desk were.
They're on my.
He looks like he's. Yep.
It would
Well,
be
hold
more
on. Let me count them all on the wood table.
It would
that's
be-
1,035.
That's
Got to mark today's date down.
So here's
Scratching up his new
not
Yeah.
this. It's on my desktop calendar. I just got to transfer it year to
Your
year.
desktop calendar.
Uh-huh.
The day I stopped being friends
No.
with Xavier, you typed in yourself. You
No.
added that to the calendar
No,
date.
I don't type it in. It's on my desk. You know, just keep marking it there. About once a month, I keep up with the days. I write it in. But I will tell you this: that's the one thing on my gravestone. I want the days. I want the days up in the top left-hand corner. Like if it's like 14,570.
He's like a girlfriend who got broke up with, who's still.
No, my friends around me that I have now have sufficiently filled any aspect, but that's just my little tie to. I'm thankful.
Thankful for counting the days.
I'm thankful, and just to be fair, I'm thankful for having known Xavier, and whatever he's got going on, you know, I hope he works it out. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold it against him and all, but you know,
I might.
Trust me, I'm mid-20s, just had a kid. It's like the amount of the friends dropping are like flies.
So are you saying CT became my kid?
Yeah, I am.
And then the flies started dropping.
Well, what turkey are you enjoying right now?
Oh,
this is more chicken?
No.
No?
Did you finish?
I finished.
Yeah, I just poured a little bit more of the Wild Turkey 70 year because it's actually up against the chicken. There's nothing.
There's nothing in it? I'm just going to take the head off.
That's a decanter.
I know what I Oh, what?
Rare breed at?
What?
Where's your Wild Turkey rare breed at? You normally have it out.
Yeah, but it's in the shelf signed. If I would have it out, I'm not gonna.
You don't have an open bottle of the rare breed?
No, I cashed it, and then I remember buying it, thinking I was gonna drink it, and then all of a sudden he signed it, and I didn't. Yeah, no.
They would do a cooked.
I mean, if I wanted something else, I would pull. There's Russell's down here. There's Kentucky Spirit. I mean, I got it all. I'm very.
Pour that Russell's 15 single rick house.
Me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't have that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
You've got the Russell's Reserve single rick house, 15 years.
Hold on, Seth.
Okay.
Normally,
does Wild Turkey do any Thanksgiving specials? I imagine. Is there like a cooked turkey version of this? I will say, while we're looking for this, that every time I come down here to the podcasting station, there's less and less room for guests from just the sheer amount of bourbon.
Yeah,
everywhere. If we were on not a basement level floor, I'm pretty sure the upstairs would have collapsed into the downstairs by this point. The amount of fluid ounces weighing down the foundation.
Oh, wait. I think is it Stag? Rolling Rock?
Russell? You looking for Russell right behind
15?
you?
No.
That's 13.
That's the 13.
All right, everybody.
Well, we'll pour some 13. I do have the sample of the 15.
I think he's going to...
is time for me to pull this turkey. So let me go get my pan.
That wasn't a long cook time at all.
It's deep frying.
I know.
3 minutes.
I saw someone bread and deep fry. I saw
But when
someone
you-
do fried chicken.
So 3 minutes
Turkey.
per pound. So it's 45 minutes if it's.
Oh, that's just exactly how long this podcast is.
Yeah, he dropped it in right before
Right
we
before we
started the
started, yeah.
recording. So this is really good, but this is a little bit stronger than what we've been drinking. I do like that. Do you?
That one?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it. It's just a little bit more on the bitter side that I don't
Yeah,
like.
there's a little bit of it's almost
It's
like a
woody,
nut,
nutty.
wood or a nut. Yeah.
But that bitterness, like I don't know. I
I
call
want
it like
caramel usually with
bitter oak.
But people who really love bourbon,
This would go well with like a nice steak.
yes, this is the regular bourbon where you're not trying to get into candy flavors.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
this,
even the this I would feel would go well. The chicken cocks I feel like would go well with a piece of chicken.
but you got to remember
it's light,
The
it's-
guy who made that also makes
Well,
spent
you
time
never
here.
so you never answered my question. I mean, I like both of them. I don't dislike any of them. But does Wild Turkey do any Thanksgiving specials? Is this like a special time of year for them because this is the turkey holiday?
I would say
No,
I do not think so.
there's no cooked turkey version of this decanter. No head.
No,
Roasted?
that would be one for Nash. Did you get that, baby? Does Wild Turkey do any special
Thanksgiving Day anything?
like for Thanksgiving, like a special Thanksgiving release?
Because it is the turkey day.
Yeah, not that I know of, because they are closed on Thanksgiving Day.
That makes sense. But
But
not
when
even like a bottle or a. Oh my god! I just got a splinter.
But that brings up a very good point.
Stop carving in this desk. Stop writing the stuff into the notches. Sorry, it's
Have a special release.
They shouldn't they? It would be. I mean, they have the like Derby Day. Everybody does Derby Day releases. They have the turkey has the freaking complete.
That's the whole big setup right there for Thanksgiving Day, and what a marketing genius idea! I don't see why they didn't,
Yeah, you would think
I want
everybody.
some credit. I want some credit for that. If that goes big, I want a royalties check.
No, taste that.
Okay.
No, this is
Tasting
to
the
me,
Russells.
this 13-year. Wow.
got about 2 more minutes to go on this.
I mean, I'm going to tell you that this is easy too.
It's more flavorful. Caramely. It still has that same bitter. It's a little bit more dry.
Take another.
That
But-
roll is 15 oaky.
Yeah,
oaky.
the 15. I like the 13 better than the 15.
I definitely
Nash.
say this is
Yeah, I do.
114. I could taste the higher proof because my tongue started burning.
Oh.
Yeah, mine's 117.2.
Can we close the random chat you have open to look at the chat of
It's still got a
Facebook?
lot of caramel and vanilla in it, though.
Yeah.
Why do you have notifications on?
Very good.
You
Oh.
weirdo.
I have them on.
Yeah, you haven't heard the boom, 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 boom for the past hour.
No, I haven't. I blocked that stuff.
I know it's the old ears. There's too much.
So here we go.
Too much hair in there. Look at that
Get the
hair.
hell out of there. Digging in my ear. So
Here.
where do you put them when you pull them?
He can't hear us.
You should be able to. Can you hear us, Nash?
Uh,
Where do you put them?
I put this one in here on the stove.
Okay.
But,
We're in a pan. I want to know what oil
I got
he
a pan
uses.
right here. I got a pan right here. I always set the pan right down below the pot.
Okay. And everybody, when you pull it out of the oil, the thing that you got to do is not knock over the boiling hot water, right?
No,
Nash?
you mean oil.
Oil.
It's not water. It's oil.
What?
Not water. You mean the boiling hot
Oil.
oil.
Yeah, that's very important.
Ah, That looks.
Look at that Goldenberg. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yes, we sure can.
Look at that golden fried,
Look at that
deep
bird.
fried turkey.
Perfect.
It's perfection.
You all know you learned what was on this.
Everyone knows we need to add a couple extra 1,000 calories to a turkey every
You know,
Thanksgiving.
I always take my turkey rack and set a couple of edges right there, right on the side of the pot.
To let the oil
To
drip.
let that oil, try to let as much of that oil drip back into the pot.
Is that turkey stuffed?
No, it is not stuffed.
Yeah.
Well, if you
What
stuff
kind-
it, does it take longer?
No, that's
Do what?
the stuffing would fall out.
No,
It's
you would
submerged,
sew.
but
You
it's
would
submerged.
sew. You would sew it in.
But it's submerged in oil.
You could actually stuff it, and you have to make your stuffing. Because I've seen it done before, but you got to make your stuffing real thick. When you put it in there, and then it comes out like a deep fried dough ball.
Yeah.
Like inside the turkey.
So it's like a turkey donut.
Yeah.
What kind of oil do you use for that big thing?
I always, ever since I've been doing it, I've used peanut oil.
Peanut oil. Okay.
Peanut oil.
I would-
Peanut oil holds the temperature.
Yep.
And also use it a lot better than like vegetable oil and frying oil that I found. The clear frying oil that you can buy, it will break down over
Yeah.
a period of time, especially when you're cooking a bigger bird and you have to go for over an hour or so.
Yeah, that canola oil.
This one was just a 12-pound bird, so only had to do it for 48 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like we've been on the podcast for 48 minutes.
Well,
That's what
actually,
some good bourbon does.
actually, when you were doing all your things initially, it's 45 minutes and 58 seconds, and you had just dropped it in on when we were on YouTube.
Okay.
So perfect.
I want to see you move to beef tallow. See how that turns out.
You should try one time in coconut oil.
Oh.
That would be interesting.
Well, and then your turkey goes from what, however much it is, and you add $70 in coconut oil,
and then you drink rum with it. And you'd be in the Caribbean.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you could do some dark. What was it? Caribbean rye.
just save the money. Use some motor oil.
Rum finished Caribbean rye. What is it? What was that? Oh my God!
Too many pours. Can't remember.
No, I can't believe I can't remember Basil Hayden. Yeah, Basil Hayden rum finished Caribbean rye, and then turkey deep fried in coconut oil.
I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna come up with a bourbon injection.
Oh
For
yeah.
the turkey.
Well,
and it'll probably be like a bourbon and honey
and brown sugar. It's bourbon, honey, butter, and brown sugar. That Rachel, we looked up the recipe for that this time to brine it in that, and she's like, "I'm not doing that." And she's like that.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Bourbon, honey, butter, and brown sugar.
Oh, we should talk about
what?
We should talk about how to do other things, not just turkeys, but what other stuff can you put bourbon in? I bet you could soak the breadcrumbs for the stuffing in bourbon. Have a bourbon stuffing.
Yeah, or you could soak the bourbon and then drop it like right now you finished doing the turkey. Now you could drop your stuffing in to make little bourbon stuffing donuts.
Stuffing balls.
Yeah.
Little stuffing
Little
balls.
dough
Yeah,
balls.
that way you'd be able to cook it a little bit better without having to worry about
It's like a bourbon ball, but savory.
And then once it's done, you just
or like hush puppies, but they'd be stuffing balls.
yeah,
Bourbon stuffing balls.
and then just shove it up the turkey's ass once it's done.
Well, we do the bourbon pecans for the bourbon balls, but I bet a pecan pie.
Oh, I've
And
had
some
bourbon.
That's what if I was going to do a bourbon stuffing, it would have to be bourbon soaked pecans in there.
Yeah.
In the stuffing, yeah.
Well, and you also have to watch out with the alcohol content with the oil.
Yeah, because
I learned that
it's
when
flammable.
I was I did a drunk. They called it a drunken brisket, right? And it had beer and bourbon in the pan that you cook the brisket, you smoke the brisket in, and I was like an half hour away from it being done, and I checked it, and it was everything was good, and it was in a tinfoil pan, and it was covered in tinfoil, so everything was sealed. And when I came back after the half hour, the alcohol had inside the tinfoil started on fire and burned the ever living crap out of the brisket.
You flambéed it.
Oh my God. I was so depressed. I had to cut off on the brisket. It was like, let's say the brisket was 4 inches. It was 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches solid charred charcoal. And then it left the last inch in the middle. And I'm going to tell you, the last inch in the middle, I took that charcoal off, tasted damn good. But that was like a waste of about, I think the brisket was like 14 pounds. And I got about 2. Yeah, I got about 2 of the 14 pounds.
Just
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. You wasted about 5 pounds.
Oh my God. I cried because it was, I opened up the thing and the sauce was all, because it was in a pan. So all the fat had drained and it was soaking the, thing and the beer and the bourbon. And I just tasted it and it was like fantastic, but I knew it needed another half hour for the finish. And oh my God.
Yeah. For all those
started on fire and I didn't know it because it was inside.
For all the amateur cooks out there, remember, alcohol is flammable and you cannot put don't put ice into a deep fryer.
Absolutely.
Because I've used
one thing too about frying these turkeys is like, I'm soaking it in that and it's ice cold. You always gotta take that turkey out and put it on your hanger, on your rack. And it's got to at least set 20, 30 minutes on that rack in a pan, so all that water and ice and everything else drips out of that turkey before you go lowering it into that hot oil.
Don't end up on one of those videos where they,
A lot of people go wrong with frying turkeys is like, they'll pull them directly out of their brine and, put them on the rack, and then they'll go to drop it in that oil, and I mean, they're just like,
water and oil don't mix.
Just flashes and goes everywhere. Because, it's like dropping a frozen French fry in hot oil. It spatters everywhere. Well, when you add that turkey into it like that, and it's covered in ice cold water, same difference. But that's why you slowly lower that thing down. I mean, into that oil, and that reduces your spatter.
I've seen a lot of videos of
the risk of fire.
I've seen a lot of videos of people dropping in frozen turkeys, and
I see this time of year, I see so many all these fire protection sites that I'm on. I see so many videos that they putting out there before Thanksgiving of people deep frying turkeys and all, catching stuff on fire, and then the training videos where they drop turkeys and fire just flashes everywhere, burning up the garage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
glad you didn't take your deck out.
Yeah. My nephew gets on to me all the time because I covered in cardboard and all that. But
the flammable, the better.
Yeah. That's what he was talking about. I said, but I'm prepared. I got wet chemical fire extinguishers and all that stuff around. There's
a difference between 20 years of cooking a turkey versus I saw this, I should try it this year.
No.
Yeah.
Super Nash has like a lifetime of fire extinguisher and fire safety training. So I think you got it down one way or another. I think even OSHA would approve.
I'll tell you what, you can look at the cardboard around there. There is not one spatter of oil around that on that cardboard.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
I've got this thing down pat.
so that was a special. We honored your brother. We honored Robert. Thank you all for watching.
Yep.
Just remember,
we've pardoned this turkey.
yes,
This turkey's safe.
we pardoned his turkey too. The Jimmy Russell, Jarrett Russell decanter
Pardon this turkey.
officially on, and then also everybody, happy Thanksgiving. But remember, Tuesday night,
Tuesday,
8:30 Eastern
8:30.
Standard Time.
EDT.
Greg Schneider, Chicken Cock Whiskey, Mizunaro finished bourbon. You're not the fourth in the decanter in the tin series. You're not going to want to miss this. He's setting the record. I believe this is number 11 for him. He has become officially the number one guest of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're going to have to get Bishop. Bishop in that transfer hasn't been on a lot, so you know.
Overnight me a 2-ounce sample of that because, like I said, I so busy during the festival, I missed out on getting one.
I think we all, yeah. I'll see what I can do. I got it. It's only Thursday. Maybe if I send it out Friday, you get it by Tuesday. I'll see what I can do. All right, everybody. www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You know the drill. If you want a Glencairn, you want a t-shirt, you can contact me direct. I'll send it to you. And we can Venmo. And then also Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, all the major podcast formats, mainly iHeart, Apple, and Spotify. But if you listen to it, a podcast, we're there. You'll be able to hear us. Just look for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Remember, like, listen, subscribe, and leave good feedback. Also, cheers to you, Jin, for coming on. Thanks for coming on again.
Yep.
His first Thanksgiving podcast, but
first thanks, but not the last.
But his first podcast as a dad, and I look forward to many more. But remember,
the small batch.
Remember, good times and good friends and good family. Wait, good times and good
times, good friends, good family
equals
Good
good family.
friends,
Clearly.
good family, and good bourbon equals good time.
Right, good friends, good family.
One too many pours equals
good
good
bourbon,
time.
good friends,
Equals good bourbon.
good family equals good times.
Equals good bourbon, yeah.
Remember, don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly and make sure.
Live dangerously.
Nope.
No.
Live your life uncut and unfiltered. Little Steve-O's going to take us out.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Whatever happened to live dangerously? You get.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Moving up in the world.
Live dangerously. No, it changed because Uncut Unfiltered was Whiskey Thief, and it just evolved to it. Like everything else.
I'm still living dangerously.
You can.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why.
I'm drunk.
Oh, don't ask why.
You got me drunk at 10 a.m. in the morning. I gotta make pies.
Happy Turkey Day, John.
I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
All right, there we go. Just do audio, improve quality, improve clarity, and then we will save it, publish to uploading.
My legs are numb. These chairs.
They're better than the other ones.
They are, but because you actually can sit in them. Oh, I dropped one of my.
We're still live on Facebook and YouTube, so you're taking it off while we're live.
Well, okay. Well,
this one can come off. This one.
Do they go to Facebook and YouTube?
What?
Are the mics for Facebook and YouTube?
Yeah, the little ones. You
Oh.
drop that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pick it up. It's on the floor. you want me to leave it there?
Nope. Nope. All right. You can end on YouTube. Thank you everybody on YouTube for watching.
Yep.
Just hit end and then tell me what the number was. It's probably 90 something. It didn't seem like it went high today because it's 10 o'clock in the morning. That is not our normal time.